All right, let's dive into something pretty amazing. The ART Metaltech XB1200. It could be a game changer for how we process steel.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential, that's for sure.
So we've been going through the research on this machine, and we want to figure out, like, what can it really do?
Yeah,
How efficient is it? And, is it actually easy to use, like they say?
let's get into it.
Okay, so first thing that jumps up, this thing works with, like, everything. I'm talking universal beams, columns, every kind of rectangular and square tube you can think of.
Yeah.
Even parallel flange channels and just flat plates. It's like
Yeah.
the ultimate steel processing machine.
And that's huge for businesses, right? To be
Yeah,
able to work with all those different materials on one machine. Talk about streamlining.
for sure.
But it's not just the variety, it's how the Metaltech XB1200 handles them. We're talking automated loading, it measures everything perfectly, and it can run through like a whole project's worth of steel with almost no downtime.
Hold on. Minimal downtime.
All right.
How much time are we really saving here?
Well, it really depends on the project.
Yeah.
But just the automation itself can cut hours off production time.
Why?
And then you factor in less labor needed. Maybe you can even produce more. It could be a big difference to your bottom line.
I see where you're going with this. Okay. What's this? I see about 360-degree processing. What does that even mean?
It means this thing can cut and mark from any angle, even underneath the material.
So no more like flipping and turning those heavy steel pieces.
Exactly. So picture this. You've got a rectangular hollow section, right?
Yeah.
And you need to cut all four sides with perfect 45-degree bevels. The Metaltech XB1200 does it all in one go, doesn't matter which side you start with.
Impressive. Okay, but how easy is this thing to actually use? Because I'm picturing like a control panel from a spaceship or something.
Nah, it's actually the opposite. The software is called ART Profile Shop V4, super intuitive. It's all touchscreen, basically walks you through everything. Need to know how much material you'll use, nesting patterns so you don't waste anything. It'll even figure out how to avoid collisions. All right there, easy to understand.
And speaking of not wasting anything, they keep mentioning this true hole technology. What's so special about that?
Well, it basically makes sure you get the perfect sized holes, but you're removing the absolute minimum material. Less waste means you spend less, right?
Right.
And it's better for the environment. It's a win-win.
Totally. Okay, here's something I know every business owner is going to love. This machine has a built-in quoting feature. No more guessing games.
Yeah, you can work out exactly what a job's going to cost based on like the number of cuts, the holes, what type of material, even the weight of the steel takes all the guesswork out of it.
Seriously, if you're running a business, could you afford not to have that level of accuracy? I don't think I could go back to spreadsheets and guesstimates after seeing this.
It's a good question to ask yourself. I mean, yeah, the Metaltech XB1200, it's an investment, but you're looking at less waste, more productivity, everything we've talked about. It makes a pretty strong case.
I'm with you on that. You know what else impressed me? How well it seems to integrate. Like it's designed to just fit right into your existing workflow.
That's right. It works with all the standard CAD and MRP systems. No need to start from scratch.
Right.
And the reporting features are awesome. You can keep track of everything, the cut times, how much consumable you're using, even which parts are finished, all in one place.
So no more clipboards and spreadsheets. That's music to my ears.
It's about making your whole operation smoother. Imagine your design software talks directly to the cutting machine. You see exactly what's happening with production, and quoting is a breeze. That's the world the Metaltech XB1200 offers.
It does sound pretty amazing, but is there a catch? Is it really that user-friendly?
Well, any new technology has a bit of a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
But ART, they offer training programs on-site or at their factory, and they've got ongoing tech support, so you're not on your own.
That's good to know. But let's be real, even with training, getting a machine like this up and running, it takes time, right?
Yeah, there's some setup involved, of course, but ART has a whole team dedicated to helping businesses through every stage, from installing it to the training, even after you're up and running. They're invested in making sure you're successful with this machine.
That's good to hear. Sounds like they're going above and beyond. So we've talked about what it can do, how easy it is to use, the support you get. But what about actual results?
That's where things get really interesting. You put together the precision cutting, the robotics, the true hole technology, and you get a level of accuracy and finish quality that's really unmatched.
Okay, color me intrigued.
And-
Can we get into specifics? Like, what can this machine actually do that makes a real difference for a business?
Absolutely. Let's start with one of the biggest headaches in steel fabrication: coping and mitering.
Wait, before we get into that, For those of us who don't speak fabrication, can you explain what coping and mitering even is?
Sure. It's all about how you join two pieces of steel at an angle. Coping, you're cutting a profile on one piece to fit perfectly against the other. And mitering, you cut both pieces at an angle for a seamless join.
Got it. So how does the Metaltech XB1200 make that better?
Well, instead of doing all that cutting and grinding by hand, the Metaltech XB1200 creates those complex profiles, super fast, super accurate.
So we're talking serious time saving.
Exactly. What might have taken hours now takes minutes.
Now that's what I call efficiency.
Yeah.
What about trickier cuts like bevels? I see you can do bevels up to 50 degrees.
Yeah, and that's a game changer if you're doing any kind of weld prep. Imagine getting those perfectly angled edges in way less time.
That's a huge advantage, especially when you're working to tight deadlines. But even with all this automation, there's still a human element involved, right?
Of course. The Metaltech XB1200 isn't about replacing skilled workers. It's about making them even more efficient and effective, like combining human skills with smart automation.
And that's where the training and support from ARKey comes in.
Exactly. They get it. It's not just about the machine. It's about giving businesses the knowledge to really use it to its full potential.
This all sounds incredibly promising, but I have to ask, how does this fit into the bigger picture of the steel fabrication industry?
Well, I think it's safe to say the Metaltech XB1200 is a big step forward when it comes to automation and efficiency. It's really pushing the boundaries, setting a new standard for the whole industry.
And what about the impact on individual businesses? Is this something only big companies can benefit from? Or can smaller operations take advantage of this too?
I think the great thing about the Metaltech XB1200 is that it's scalable. It can be customized to fit any size business.
So whether you're a small shop trying to increase production or a massive corporation, this machine has something to offer.
Exactly. It's not just about shaking things up. It's about making this advanced technology accessible to everyone.
I like that. So it's not just about disrupting the industry. It's about bringing everyone up to a new level.
Precisely. It's about giving businesses of all sizes the tools they need to compete on a global scale.
So we've gotten a pretty good overview of what the Metaltech XB1200 is all about. But from your expert perspective, what makes this machine truly stand out?
It's tough to pick just one thing, but I'd say it's the combination of versatility, precision, and ease of use.
So it's not just about doing one thing really well. It's about doing a lot of things exceptionally well.
You got it, like the ultimate fabrication multi-tool.
I like that analogy.
And the best part, the technology keeps evolving. ART is always innovating, improving. So who knows what the Metaltech XB1200 will be capable of in the future?
It's exciting to think about. It feels like we're at the beginning of a whole new era in steel fabrication, and we're here to see it happen.
Absolutely. And for any business out there looking to stay ahead of the curve, the Metaltech XB1200 is worth taking a serious look at.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. We've talked about the capabilities, the impact on businesses, and how it could change the whole industry.
And that's really just scratching the surface. There's so much more to explore, like how does the software work? Are there real-world examples of companies using the Metaltech XB1200 to get amazing results? We'll get into all of that.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we're going even deeper into the world of the Metaltech XB1200.
We'll uncover all the secrets. Until then,
Keep those innovative sparks flying.
and remember, the future of fabrication is closer than you think.
So you mentioned real-world results, and some of the case studies we got sent in, the numbers are pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's this one company, they do structural steel fabrication. They said their productivity went up by 20% after they started using the XB1200.
Wow, 20%. That's huge.
Right. I mean, that could mean shorter lead times, projects finished faster,
Yep.
more money coming in.
Absolutely. It all adds up.
Yeah.
So what were they doing differently that made such a big difference?
We said it was a bunch of things, like how fast and accurate the machine is, less manual labor, and they could do more of the work in-house with all the different materials it can handle.
That makes sense. If you can bring more of the process in-house, you're not relying on other companies as much.
Exactly.
You've got more control over your schedule, and you might even be able to offer new services to clients.
Right. And they also said they were wasting way less material, like around 15% less.
That's significant.
Yeah, good for the environment and good for their bottom line.
Definitely. We talked about that true hole technology and the software being able to nest everything so efficiently.
Right.
Sounds like those features are really making a difference for companies.
There's another case study that I thought was really interesting. It's this small company that does architectural metalwork, custom staircases, railings, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Intricate stuff. I bet the Metaltech XB1200's perfect for that, with
Yeah.
the precision and flexibility.
That's what I was thinking. So anyway, they were kind of hesitant to invest in a machine like this at first. They thought it might be too complicated for what they needed.
I hear that a lot. People think the Metaltech XB1200's only for those big industrial jobs.
Yeah.
But it's just as valuable for smaller companies where precision and being able to do lots of different things is really important.
And that's what they found out. They were amazed by how easy it was to use. And they could suddenly create these super detailed designs that they just couldn't do before.
I bet that opened up some creative doors for them.
Totally. They said it was like having a whole new set of tools at their fingertips.
That's what gets me excited about this technology. It's not just about doing things better, it's about unlocking new possibilities.
And they said their lead times got way shorter, too. They could finish projects much faster.
Which makes them more competitive, right?
Yep. And it meant they could take on those more challenging, more interesting projects.
It's like a chain reaction. You get more efficient in one area, it has a positive impact everywhere else.
Totally. So we're seeing that the Metaltech XB1200 can really make a difference for businesses of all sizes. But what about the future? Where do you see this technology going in the next few years?
Ooh, good question. The world of manufacturing is constantly changing.
Right.
And I think the Metaltech XB1200 is in a great position to lead the way. We're already seeing huge advancements in AI and machine learning, and I think that's going to have a huge impact on steel fabrication.
In what way?
Imagine a machine that can not only cut and process material with incredible precision, but it can also learn from what it's doing,
Okay.
constantly optimizing itself, getting better with every project.
So like a self-learning machine, getting smarter all the time. That sounds like science fiction.
It might sound futuristic, but it's closer than you think. We're already seeing the building blocks for it. I think it's only a matter of time before we see machines like the Metaltech XB1200 with these kinds of capabilities.
That's pretty mind-blowing. But what does that mean for the human workers? Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
I don't think it's about replacing humans. It's more about giving them superpowers. Let the machines handle the repetitive stuff, the time-consuming things.
Right.
Then the humans can focus on the higher-level stuff, the creative problem-solving, that kind of thing.
So it's more about humans and machines working together, each doing what they're best at.
Exactly. It's about creating a more efficient, more productive work environment that's ultimately more fulfilling for everyone.
I like that. Now, we've got to talk about the environmental impact, right?
Oh, absolutely.
As these machines get more and more advanced, how can we make sure they're being used sustainably, responsibly?
That's a crucial question, and I think ART is really thinking about that. They've already built a lot of environmentally friendly features into the Metaltech XB1200.
Right, like the fume extraction and minimizing waste. We talked about that.
Exactly. But we can take it even further. I think there's potential for even more integration with renewable energy. Imagine a fabrication facility powered entirely by solar panels or wind turbines.
Now that's a vision of the future I can get behind. It's incredible to see how far steel fabrication has come, and it's exciting to think about where it's going next.
It's a dynamic industry, always innovating. And the Metaltech XB1200 is a great example of how technology can be a force for positive change.
This has been a fantastic deep dive into the world of the Metaltech XB1200. We've explored the features, the benefits, how it's impacting businesses, even its potential to reshape the entire industry.
It's been a fascinating conversation, and I hope our listener feels like they have a much better understanding of not just the Metaltech XB1200 itself, but also the big trends that are shaping manufacturing right now.
Before we move on, I've been wondering about something. If you had to sum up what the Metaltech XB1200 is all about in just one word, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But I think the word that really captures the spirit of this machine is empowerment.
Empowerment. Tell me more.
It's about giving businesses the power to do more, to be more efficient, to be more creative, to achieve things they might not have thought possible.
I love that. It's not just a machine, it's a tool for empowerment.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so special.
Empowerment. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It really is about giving businesses the tools they need to achieve more.
And it's not just about the machine itself, it's about that relationship you build with ART.
Right. Yeah.
They're really invested in their customer success, and that makes a huge difference.
Definitely. It feels like they're not just selling a machine, they're selling a whole new way of thinking about steel fabrication, a more efficient and innovative way.
And a more sustainable one, too, which is so important these days.
Absolutely. And that vision, it seems to be catching on. I mean, we're seeing the Metaltech XB1200 popping up in so many different industries.
Yeah, it's not just construction and infrastructure anymore. You're seeing it in automotive, aerospace, all kinds of places.
It's pretty amazing how one machine can have such a widespread impact.
It speaks to how versatile it is. You can really adapt it to so many different applications.
And as the technology keeps getting better, who knows what we'll be able to do with it.
The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Well, I think we've explored just about every nook and cranny of the ART Metaltech XB1200.
We've really gone deep on this one.
We talked about what it can do, how it benefits businesses, how it's changing the industry, the whole 9 yards.
I think our listener is walking away with a solid understanding of the Metaltech XB1200 and everything it can do. Hopefully, they can decide if it's the right fit for their business.
And if they're thinking about taking the leap, I definitely encourage them to reach out to ART.
Oh, yeah, those folks are passionate about this technology. They're ready to help any business make the most of it.
So to wrap things up, I want to leave our listener with one last thought.
Go for it.
The Metaltech XB1200, it's more than just a machine. It's like a symbol of where the industry is headed.
Pushing things forward.
Exactly. It shows you what's possible when people put their minds to it, and it's a sign that the future of manufacturing is looking pretty bright.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And with that, we'll bring this deep dive into the world of the Metaltech XB1200 to a close. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
See you next time.